Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna show you how to crochet this super easy and simple crochet top. Maganda yung stitches ng top na to for dark color yarn, pero para mas makita nyong maigi yung bawat stitches, gagamit ako ng light color yarn for this tutorial. We will start from the body part to upper front chest to the shoulder, then we will connect it together with a slip stitch. I'll be making the top in size extra small, but you can customize it to your size by following the measurement guide. For the body part width, measure your full bust. Mine is 14 inches, or a total of 28 inches around my bust. I use a stretchable yarn for this top, and it is up to you if you want it to be loose or fitted. For the length of the body part, measure from your underarm to your desired length. Mine is 7.5 inches. Then, for the upper front chest width, measure from left upper corner to right upper corner of your underarm. Mine is 10.5 inches. And for the length of the upper front chest, measure from your underarm to your neckline. Mine is 3 inches. Then, for the shoulder, measure from the neckline to your shoulder. Mine is 4 inches and the width of this is 2.5 inches. To begin, grab your yarn, make a slip knot, then chain a multiple of 6, mine is 96 chains. When you have a total of 96 chains, put a stitch marker, then connect the two ends with a slip stitch. Make sure that the chains are not twisted. To start the round 1, chain 1, single crochet into the first chain, it is where you put the stitch marker. Then single crochet into all the chains. For this round, I have a total of 96 single crochet stitches. To join the round, slip stitch into the first stitch. Chain 1, put a stitch marker. For this pattern, we will switch the color in every round. For my round 2, I will use the blue yarn. Grab your blue yarn, make a slip knot, for round 2, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up the loop, then chain 2. These 2 chains are counted as double crochet stitch and we are going to make a 2 double crochet together. Now yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch of your 2 chains, pull the yarn, now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 1, and in that the same stitch, we are going to do another double crochet 2 together which form your cluster. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, pull the yarn. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, pull the yarn. Now you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. And this will be your first cluster V-stitch. Skip 2 stitches, then work cluster V-stitch into the next stitch. Start by working 2 double crochet together. Chain 1, then 2 double crochet together into the same stitch. Then repeat the pattern of skip 2 stitches, then cluster V-stitch into the next stitch until you have 2 stitches left. To join the round, slip stitch into the first double crochet together stitch. Chain 1, put a stitch marker, for round 3, switch to cream yarn. Insert your hook into the chain space. Pull up the loop, chain 4, this is counted as double crochet and chain 1. Then double crochet into the same chain space to form a V-stitch. Now work another V-stitch into the next chain space, double crochet, chain 1, then double crochet into the same chain space. In this round, we will work V-stitch in every chain space. To join the round, slip stitch into the third chain, then chain 1. Put a stitch marker, for round 4, switch to blue yarn. Insert your hook into the chain space, pull up the loop, chain 2, then repeat the pattern of row 2 and row 3 until you reach your desired length for your body part. I'm done and I have a total of 14 rows or 7.5 inches. Now for the upper part, count the total number of your V-stitches. Mine is 32 V-stitches. Then get the measurement of your upper front chest width. Mine is 10.5 inches, which is equal to 14 V-stitches. So the width of my front upper chest is 14 V-stitches and another 14 V-stitches at the back, which is equal to 28 V-stitches. So you need to skip 2 V-stitches in each side for your armpit area. Now, count 7 stitches to the right and 7 stitches to the left from this yarn tail or from the center of your top. Put a stitch marker. Skip 2 V-stitches. Put a stitch marker. Then count 14 V-stitches and put another stitch marker. We also have here 2 skip V-stitches. Now grab your yarn, make a slip knot, insert your hook into the chain space, pull up the loop, chain 2. This is the same as the pattern of the previous row. We will work again cluster V-stitch until you reach the stitch marker. Then end this row with chain 1. Put a stitch marker if you have a stitch marker. Then grab your cream yarn. Make a slip knot. Insert your hook into the chain space. Pull up the loop. Chain 4. This is also the same as the pattern of the previous row with V-stitches. Then make a V-stitch into each of the chain space. Then end your row with chain 1. Put a stitch marker if you have a stitch marker. Then switch to the blue yarn. Insert your hook into the chain space, pull up the loop, then chain 2. Turn your work. Then repeat the pattern of the previous row with a cluster V-stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain space of your 2 chains, pull up the yarn. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, then work 2 double crochet together. Then make cluster V-stitch into each of the chain space. End your row with a chain 1, turn your work, then insert your hook into the chain space, pull up the loop, chain 4, turn your work, then repeat the pattern of the previous row with V-stitches. Then make a V-stitch into each of the chain space. Then end your row with a chain 1. Put a stitch marker if you have a stitch marker. Then repeat the pattern of the previous rows and the process of changing color until you reach your neckline. For the shoulder, put a stitch marker on the 4th V-stitch for a total of 2.5 inches. Then repeat the same pattern of the previous rows, but this time work until you reach the stitch marker. And the length of this is until you reach your shoulder. Do the same into the other strap. I'm done with the front part. Now for the back part, repeat the same process as we did in the front part, but make sure that the yarn tail on the back is long enough because we will use it to connect the shoulders together. I'm done with the back part. Now let us connect this together. Turn your top inside out. Insert your hook into the first stitches. Pull the yarn, then chain 1. Slip stitch into the second stitches, and into all the stitches of your shoulder. Chain 1 to secure, do the same process into the other strap.
What a wonderful world.